Today's commentary is going to be one of a pretty interesting one. Today, guys, I'm going to be talking about Call of Duty and kind of just where COD is right now. Like, the question is, personally, is COD dead? Like, is it, like, I know it's still selling well and stuff, but is its heart dead? Is its full, like, is what made COD great in the past dead? You know, has COD just become too far? Has it gone too far on, just, changing stuff and, just kind of in some ways downgrading? So I'm kind of going to answer this question. So in order to carefully examine COD, we have to look at where it first started. What first made it great in the first place? Now, obviously, COD 1 through 3 were pretty fun games. They were pretty enjoyable. World War II, they were really memorable in the sense of actually putting you in the shoes of an American, British, or Russian soldier and kind of just showing you what it was like to be in World War II. It was great having that. But they weren't that big, they were fun, but they weren't that big at the time, So, when did COD start getting bigger? Well, honestly, obviously, games are going to grow over time, but probably when it first had its first big growth was through Modern Warfare, COD 4. That's when they introduced kill streaks, custom loadouts, or custom class, whatever, and all that stuff. And it's what put COD in the modern day. So, yeah, honestly, that's probably when it first started. Now, when COD really spiked was Modern Warfare 2. That's when COD became a big thing. That's when COD became the most popular shooter. That's when COD was honestly just the biggest thing out there. Modern Warfare 2 was that game. And, by comparison, it's just when you... So, Modern Warfare 2, to most people, is considered the peak of Call of Duty. So, if Modern Warfare 2's the peak, well, let's see what it had. It had a fairly interesting campaign to play. Yes, it was linear, but at least it had really good fun out of it. 2, a spectacular multiplayer, boots-on-the-ground gameplay with kill streaks, custom classes, and a bunch of addicting and powerful moments. Now, and they had Special Ops. Special Ops was the next thing, and Special Ops was basically kind of like these little missions that you could do, and they were also really fun. Now, the next thing that happened, which this actually happened before MW2, COD World at War. This game was developed by Treyarch, and what World at War was basically Call of Duty's entry back into World War II. It was fairly nice, but the big attraction for World at War was its very new Nazi Zombies mode. Basically, this had you trapped in a certain area, and you had to defend wave after wave against onslaught of zombies. It was really fun to do at the time. Like World at War was really had a fun zombies, and it was just really fun. It was nice to play. And so let's move on to COD's next entry after Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops. Black Ops was fairly received well. It introduced one of the memorable maps of Nuketown, and it was easily, like, Call of Duty Black Ops had a fine, interesting story to do, and it was nice just, just playing the game. It was kind of like, Modern Warfare 2, but more of the Cold War, and I think that was personally cool. I think it was a good change of art, and it was nice. Now, the next game is when COD kind of took its first, I'd say, downgrade, Modern Warfare 3. Don't get me wrong, the game's still nice and all, but it's like, people have compared it constantly, and they explain that it just wasn't as good as Modern Warfare 2. It just, the campaign, like they say Modern Warfare 3 is when the campaign started to be less about these interesting stories and more just about explosions and like these Michael Bay cinematic scenarios. And the multiplayer, you know, it's kind of just the same as Modern Warfare 2, you know. And then that's when Black Ops 2 came out a year later. Black Ops 2 came out and, you know, it was pretty well received. However, the one thing that people still complained about with the series was it was still not really growing that much. You know, it was cool it was in a future scenario this time, but it just didn't do much. Like, when you played the multiplayer, people said it felt just like COD's Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer. And when that case was put in mind, it was kind of easy for the next year to play things a bit different. And that's when we got to COD's nosedive, Ghosts. As much as some people like it, you have to consider Ghosts was negatively received. And through my eyes, it was an abomination of a COD game. And, you know, what the fact of the matter is, Ghosts failed. It fails tremendously. And personally, I believe Ghosts failed because it tried too hard to be realistic. It, like, tried too hard, you know, because in real life scenarios, yes, you're in bigger maps. Yes, there's more, you know, there's more hiding in spots and stuff. But it's not fun to always get into that. Let Battlefield do that stuff, you know? But that was COD's first nosedive, and that's when COD was beginning to quote-unquote dying. And so then after that, what they tried to do to fix it was try to change it in a different way, and that's when Advanced Warfare came in. Advanced Warfare, it was pretty decent, really. It was decently received. What people acknowledged right off the bat was it was a breath of fresh air and the game was superior to Ghosts in almost every way. Now, what people complained about with Advanced Warfare was the map flow and the underwhelming kill streaks, which, you know, can't blame them. But the fact of the matter is that that's what's causing, you know, so then Advanced Warfare comes. And also, Ghost was okay with its campaign, like, it actually did alright. But Advanced Warfare was really the sign of the campaign's downgrade. And overall, it's like, it's kind of just weird. It's like, just how COD kind of began to gradually, like, it stayed well in some areas, but in others it downgraded. And now when we get to Black Ops 3, it's like they give us so many promises that this is going to be the most innovative COD multiplayer yet. With all this new special mobilities and specialists and a campaign with 4-player co-op and everything. But it's like none of it is that big. It's like the mobility and the 4-player co-op has been done in other games. Specialists is basically like Destiny's supers. So it's like COD Black Ops 3, as much as it's a fine game, didn't innovate. So, you know, no offense to the COD fanboys, don't try and brainwash yourselves into thinking that, you know, they actually innovated anything, because they really didn't. They didn't even innovate that much to the series itself. 4-player co-op was done in World at War, and the mobility was done in Advanced Warfare. So they're not really even innovating for the series. And that's where now we see COD is gradually downgrading itself and just playing it safe. That's why I believe COD is suffering. It's not because that it's in any way bad, but it's just because it's not as great as it was in the past. And it's also because of their refusal to grow. They don't try any new tricks. And if enhanced mobility is the best they can do in terms of adding new features and new, like, fun toys and stuff, then I'm growing really concerned for this series. Like, let's just compare it to some other games. Titanfall innovated through the mobility itself, but it was the first one to implement it. No other game have ever even considered something like that. And, you know, Halo innovated through Forge and Theater. Halo also innovated through the recharging health, but it's like, you know, even nowadays they try to innovate through stuff like combining AI with, you know, regular players, you know, in like an epic match such as Warzone, or trying to innovate in other areas in general. It's like, now I get it, the most recent Halos haven't been that innovative either, but you get what I mean. I'm just saying, at least games such as Halo, and I don't really know about Battlefield. I think Battlefield's also a bit of a one-trick pony, but at least games such as Halo and like Titanfall are like willing to grow beyond themselves. Because let's be honest, like with Titanfall, for example, Titanfall could have just been another Call of Duty. It could have been that. It could have just been COD 2.0, just new COD type game. But it wasn't. Titanfall was its new thing. Did it play similar to COD in almost every way? Yeah, like the gameplay mechanics were nearly exactly like Call of Duty. But it had the enhanced mobility and the Titans and the AI, so it allowed creative gameplay and it allowed new things to be added. New things that actually changed the way, not the way the game was played, but the way the game was presented. And, you know, I feel COD needs to go a similar approach. It's like, why have it where you try and innovate for a game, yet you're innovating the ways the community don't like? But it's like, you know, try and innovate with different things. Like, I don't know, maybe have like a vehicle mode for COD. Like, I swear to you, Call of Duty is the only first-person shooter I've seen nowadays without any vehicles. It's like stupid. It's like the campaign you can go around in vehicles, but in the multiplayer they don't allow it. Have a vehicle mode, or have something else that's really cool. Imagine Kill Streak War, where like your kill streaks charge up really fast and you get to unleash heck upon other people. Or imagine something even funner, like, I don't know, think of something. And in the end, that's why I'm explaining these things, because that's what COD needs to try to be. It needs to try and be something that's big and something promising. And the only way it can do that is if it does everything that a game does best. And that is try things that are creative and try things that revolutionize. So in the end, guys, that's why I think of this video. You know, that's why I think of COD's state right now. So is COD dead? No. But is it growing old? Is it starting to kind of lose itself? Yes. But we can still help it grow. We can still help it get better. And all we need to do is just tell Treyarch what we want in the future. And I think, honestly, if we give them our full suggestions, they will give us what we want out of Call of Duty. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, I hope you really enjoyed it. Thank you for all your support. Please like this video up, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. This is Dumber Orange 927, and peace out.